So the next half of this unit is going to be about space exploration. We're going to discover the differences between manned space explorations versus unmanned space exploration, which means if there's a human being actually going and being a part of this exploration. So, true or false? There's no gravity in space. Mass and weight are the same. Living space has no effect on the human body. I want you to jot down what you think, if these are true or false, and then tell me a little bit why you think it's true or false. You are probably right if you said false on all of them. There is no gravity in space. The mass and weight are not the same in space, and that the living space has no effect on the human body. You know, out of all of your exploring and research, that you've come across that there is gravity in space. Mass and weight are not the same, and living in space does have an effect on your body. Now we're going to explore why these are common misconceptions. So, leaving Earth. Living in space is not as easy as it looks on the movies or on TV. The distance from the sun affects how much solar radiation arrives at that planet or object. Too much solar radiation can kill humans if they do not have protection from this radiation. Human sense to time and speed are not accurate when living in space. So living in a small crowded area can lead to depression when you're up in space, actually on the space shuttle or whatever craft of choice. Okay, so the effects of microgravity on the body. Orbiting space creates a nearly weightless effect for humans. It's called microgravity. I want you to be able to make sure you know that term. You can experience microgravity by riding roller coasters or jumping on a trampoline or off a diving board. It is the free fall period of these activities when the microgravity occurs. When you're going on a roller coaster and you pop up out of your seat a little bit, that is the free fall effect when coming down a roller coaster hill. And of course, only lasts for a short period of time. That's why it's called the micro. It is sometimes called zero gravity, but it's more accurately named microgravity because it is so slight. Since weight is measured by the pull of gravity on mass, and mass is the amount of matter in a substance, astronauts lose weight due to less gravity. So the longer they're there, the more weight that they lose. They will also lose muscle mass because they do not use them due to the lesser gravity in space. If muscles are not used, they will wither. So they'll become weak. They might have to relearn how to walk depending on how long they're actually in space. Space food. Microgravity will also cause water to form a ball rather than a water drop shape or any other shape water can take. This can cause problems showering, perspiring, and drinking. Food is prepared differently and may taste different. Astronauts often request hot sauce and spice to improve the flavor of their food. Spacecraft. Sleeping is challenging in microgravity. Sleeping bags are strapped to the walls, and astronauts must secure themselves within them. The rhythmic beating of their heart will cause their head to bob, so the head must be restrained. Can you imagine sleeping like that? Pressure, temperature, and atmosphere changes. Providing clean air supply, water supply, temperature control, and a way to dispose of waste must also be considered. Living in space is challenging. Okay, for waste management. Waste management in space is rather interesting. Astronauts use flushing toilets that flush with air rather than water. The airflow draws the waste away from the body and then flushes it into the storage tanks. The liquid eventually evaporates once it's dumped overboard. Solid waste goes into a container, dries out, and is taken back to Earth for disposal. Pretty gross, huh? Okay, so last but not least, are there advantages to manned space exploration over unmanned? So explain the advantages of this or disadvantages, whatever you think, and we'll talk about it in class. Make sure to record all of this information on your notes handout sheet that was given to you, and then that will be glued into your journal whenever you return to school. I hope you guys have a great night and enjoy the rest of your day.